My favorite thing that Kyle does is coach off the tape. And then when I first got here, I learned so much about football. I'm in year 7 now, but in my 6th year, I had honestly thought I knew pretty much everything I needed to know about offensive football. I'd played with a bunch of different coaches and different coordinators, different running back coaches. And when I got here, I was in shock how much I didn't know. And that's because of how he coaches the team. And it's really cool when your head coach, who's an offensive coach, and he's showing the defensive tape. And so you learn really quickly how defensive football is supposed to be played because he's coaching the defensive guys, and he's just as knowledgeable as any coach on not just offensive football, but defensive football. And so, for me, I've always been a guy that just loves football. I don't need a rah-rah speech, and I don't need anybody motivating me. I'm already motivated and ready to go. So learning more about the X's and O's and learning the purpose behind each play has been really cool for me. It's one of my favorite things about Kyle, because when you're in those meetings, there is never a shortage of knowledge that you can take in from what he's saying. And so that's been the coolest part for me.
I 100% agree. That's one of my favorite things about Kyle is that he doesn't have to be a motivational speaker. Like, the way he motivates is by keeping it real and by watching the tape. And he never gets too high, he never gets too low, because he's smart enough to know that even when we win games, it wasn't perfect. And when we lose those games, it's probably not as bad as what we thought it was. So he just does a really good job of, you know what, these are the facts, and I'll show it, or I'll prove it to you by showing the clips instead of letting emotion play into it so much.
Kyle's obviously a highly touted play caller. Is there been just a moment where his play call was absolutely perfect, you're blown away, almost like he was predicting what was going to take place on the field?
I mean, it's hard to answer your question. Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I will say, like, one of the coolest things I saw last year that I picked up on is he was going off. I don't know who we were playing. I do know, but I'm not going to say.
Okay.
But he was going off of the energy of the guys on the field and the safeties and their mindset. And so he was calling plays because he knows not just, what they're going to run, but he knows their mindset and what they're going to do on this play. If this happens, in the first quarter, if we keep seeing it in the fourth quarter, he's going to get a little antsy and he's going to jump it and he's going to jump it. And so he's like baiting you in the whole time. And at first I'm like, look, maybe, that might be true. And it happened in the game. And I don't know we had an explosive on the play, but I just remember being like, damn, he really
he's playing
called
like
that
the
one.
long game, laying the foundation.
Yeah, it's a chess match, and he's really good at chess. And I think still to this day, obviously his scheme is so good, but and the players have to make it happen though, and that's really what the standard is on this team, because the play can go at any point, and that's what makes it fun to practice, and why we work so hard is because although the play might be perfect call at the perfect time, you still have to execute it against a team that might know what you're doing in that play call, and so that's the challenge, is making the play call go, and that's where obviously you have to have good players who work really hard.
I think it was this week, he said something to the media, if you're just watching the ball, then you don't really know football.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example, like he's saying, like playing off the energy of a safety, where he sets up plays by the way guys are reacting away from the ball, knowing that he can come back to that later. And that takes a lot, like just like he said, like it's so easy to just watch the football and think, if you just go run, then play action, they're going to, bite on it and you can go deep. But there's a lot of other ways to set up a defense, and he's really good at that.
And do you guys have a favorite play that's been called when your number got called? For example, maybe that LA Rams touchdown throw that you had.
That was fun. Yeah, that was great.
Is that the top, your best or favorite play, I guess, most fun for you?
It was fun. I mean, anytime you get to throw the ball just as a non-quarterback, it's pretty fun. But I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot. Anytime. Honestly, when a good run pops for like 30 or 40-yard touchdown, that to me is like, obviously I play running back, so
that makes sense.
And I know what goes into that, and it's the O-line and Juice and the tight ends blocking super hard. When that all comes together and you get that game breaker touchdown run, those are always my favorite.
What about you, Juice?
I mean, I feel like the majority of my explosive plays come from Kyle setting something up, so I get to experience that firsthand a lot. The play in Seattle in 19, in week 17, where I had caught a rail up the sideline, and we had set that up, run to a slot where I was just blocking the guy over, that was lined up over me, and then eventually we knew he was going to trigger too quickly. He did. He took the bait, and I was able to go up the sideline for a big first down on what ended up being the game-winning drive. So that play, definitely sticks out to me. Caught a rail in the Super Bowl. That's always fun to catch balls in the Super Bowl. I'd like to do that again.
I think the faithful would love to see that as well.
Yeah, those are some good ones.
I have to ask, this was a fan-submitted question. Was there conversation, Juice, about you stopping a yard short of your last touchdown? Since I have you both on the pod.
You know what?
No, there was. I'll answer that. No. If Juice did that, I would have subbed myself out and made them run a fullback dive. No.
So no hard feelings, right, Christian?
No. There were people on the internet who thought I was being serious when I was like, yeah, man, Juice is being selfish.
It's incredible the comments I've gotten.
When did the statistics matter more than the win? I'm like, I'm joking. Of course I want Juice to score.
I mean, I'm only 17 games away from breaking that record myself.
It all starts with one touchdown, right? So, all right, so off the field, both of you guys are dedicated dog parents. So I did want to ask about that. When did you guys decide in your busy NFL careers it's time for a dog? And you actually have two.
Yeah, I'm on puppy number 2, and it's so funny because I grew up. I was a cat guy.
Interesting.
What?
I never liked dogs. I know it's kind of weird, but it was about 5 years ago. My wife had showed me these Samoyeds on Instagram, and I'm like, "That's a dog? Like those exist? That looks like
a cat.
It looks like a Pokemon. It kind of does look. Honestly, it's kind of like a cat dog." And I fell in love with them right away, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's get one." And so 4 years ago, we got our first, and then this off season, unfortunately, after losing the NFC Championship, it was just an impulse thing. Like we were just sad. We were literally just sad, and Kristen's like, "You want to get another dog?" I'm like, yes, I do. And so ended up being the best decision ever, though.
I like it.
Mine was my fiance just completely wrote me into it. I was completely anti-dog. I'm like, there's no way. I can't take care of a dog. It's gonna have to be a small dog because, I don't have. At this point, like I was moving around. I've been a nomad for like 2 years now, and I was like, sure, fine. We can get a dog, and I'd do anything for that dog. That's my guy.
I was about to say, I was like, no regrets on either side.
Zero literally the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
So do Sprinkles, right?
Nah, Oliver. I call him
Wait, is Sprinkles
That's a nickname people like to say. I didn't name him the Sprinkles part. As a man, I just call him Oliver. Nicknamed Ollie. Yeah, the Sprinkles part. I was like, yeah, I don't know. We can probably leave the Sprinkles.
Wait, what's his full name? Is it Oliver?
His name's Oliver. You can call him Oliver. A dog doesn't need more than one name. You know what I mean? My fiance might disagree, but she's never called him more than just Oliver or Ollie or Buddy. Come here, boy. One of those. But I don't. A double named dog. Relax.
It's controversial. I don't know if the internet's gonna like that.
My dogs have full names.
Wait, please.
You don't call him the full name. What, you got a middle name?
It's mozzarella girl Juszczyk.
Girl.
Yeah.
I love that.
And pierogi dongu Juszczyk.
I gotta
Can you please explain those names?
So when we decided we were gonna get another dog, we had saw that there was a rescue dog, and his name was Dongu, and we were really close to getting him. We were really close to getting Dongu. That ended up falling through. So when we got pierogi, her middle name. It was, homage to our man Dongu.
So to our credit, from when we got Oliver,
Sprinkles.
His name was Sprinkles. They had, how they have the names like at the top. That was his name, and I was like, I'll get him if we can change the name from Sprinkles to anything else.
But the Sprinkles stuck a little bit.
That's everyone's like, isn't your dog Sprinkles? It's not my dog's name. Shut up.
This is a sensitive subject.
It's Oliver.
All right, so Well, okay. I'm gonna call him Sprinkles because that's what I saw on TikTok.
Like
From
if you
your
called him
fiance.
Sprinkles, he wouldn't come. If you called him Oliver, he'd come sit down right on your lap, put his head right on your thigh.
I like it. All right. So we've got also Ivy League of the West with Stanford and actual
Come on,
Harvard.
You said it.
Come on.
I don't know.
Can I get your thoughts on that? Which school is better?
You know,
Make a case.
here's the thing. Neither of us went to our respective schools to play school. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
To play school.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we're football players. And did Harvard win a conference championship this year? Yes. I don't know
What
what
conference is Harvard in?
Did they win the Ivy League? Yes. But honestly, there's not really. I don't have a rivalry with Christian about.
I got no
let's-
beef with Harvard. I got no beef with Harvard.
Stanford.
Some call it the Harvard of the West, and some call Harvard the Stanford of the East. I've heard both, so you can,
I haven't heard the Stanford
I
of
haven't
the
a ton
East
of
there.
it, but I'm sure
There's-
there's people out there.
It's
they're saying it,
circulating. Just out of curiosity, what were the college majors? Since you didn't play students, but just out of curiosity.
I was an economics major, but please do not ask me any economics questions.
I was astrophysics. Yep.
Hey, he was.
I don't feel like that's true.
No, I was communication.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever applied your degrees to anything?
About
No?
zero.
Zero?
I minored in film.
Okay, that's cool.
I took a summer course in film.
Nice. You can call it a minor. You didn't have to finish it. You just tell people you
You
minored
just
in
had
film.
to start it.
Yeah, I didn't graduate either. So I could tell people anything. Yeah, I'm management, science, and engineering. That was a big major at Stanford. Management, science, and
you
engineering.
didn't graduate?
No, I didn't graduate.
Oh, I just gave you a degree.
I'm a dropout.
It's okay. I think you're doing all
I went
right.
back and graduated for what it's worth.
Thanks. It's a compliment. Take that as a compliment.
How many years do you have left?
I got a good amount.
A good amount. Okay, a fair amount. Well, something to do during the summer if
Yeah.
you're bored, if it
Yeah.
it strikes your fancy.
I mean, really, you could say like Stanford was your JUCO. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll probably finish
I'll go to
somewhere
Harvard Business School
Exactly.
when I'm done.
Bingo.
Okay, so you guys, all right, well, it doesn't matter. Very respected schools. So this was a fan submitted question. You guys also have a couple of the hardest last names to spell. Do you think you could spell each other's?
Easy.
Okay. Go first. So
McCaffrey.
good job. J.
Good start.
J-U-S.
Uh huh.
J-U-S-Z.
Yes.
Here we go.
Keep going.
C.
Come on.
It's J-U-S-Z-C. There's another Z.
There is.
Z.
Yeah.
Y-K.
Bingo.
Come on.
Come on.
Talk to
There you
him.
go. You got
Talk
there. You
to him.
got
He
there.
acted like he didn't know, but the
Hey, I
guy
had to
lines up
piece it
behind
together.
me and
I had to, yeah,
almost
I
every play.
Yeah.
All right, so for this final segment, we are going to take a few fan submitted questions. So I'm just going to fire away. Darren, this is from Instagram. Would you rather go on a road trip with the entire O line or the D line, and why?
O-line.
O-line, 100%.
The boys.
10 times out of
The
10.
boys.
Come on.
Who's having a better time than the O-line?
Who's louder? Who's louder?
The O-line.
I don't know. It was louder, but those are our guys. They block for us. So
That's
for
true.
sure the O-line, man. I got
Those are the boys.
Who's driving?
I hope Colton McKivitz.
All right, Ben Donald wrote, is there anything football related you'd be interested in doing after retirement?
I think like being a high school coach, but I don't want to be a head coach. I want to be like just
OC.
coach running backs. I don't want to call plays. I don't want that burden. I want to
just
coach
like-
running backs and like be a strength coach with like my high school buddies or my college buddies. Like we all moved to the same area, coach high school football together in one form or another. I think that sounds great.
Just a light coaching situation.
Honestly,
like-
that's probably where my life is headed. So
I'm in.
can't wait.
Yep.
All right, last one. This is Jessica from Sacramento. What is a hidden talent you don't talk about enough?
I mean, this guy's chock full of talents. He
Come
plays
on.
piano in the off season. And like,
Colorblind. That's not a talent, but yeah. That's
Wait,
not
so
a
what
talent.
colors
I don't
can
know
you
why I said
see?
that. I can see colors. I just can't put them together if they're like stuck together. So that's why I wear white gloves because the brown, and if I wore black gloves, the brown and the black look the same to me. So I have to wear white gloves to distinguish the difference between the ball and the gloves.
That's great. Wait, how old were you when you discovered you were colorblind?
I've always been colorblind. I don't
When
know
did
if
you
I knew
realize
it, but
Okay.
my brothers all are too. Well, like I said, I can see colors. I know what colors, like this red on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's red. The
job.
screen behind us is red.
You're killing it.
But you put red and green together, it's with certain colors. Orange and yellow together, blue and purple, red and green. You put those together, I'm struggling.
That's crazy. Okay, so that's why you wear the white gloves.
Yep.
What about
That's
you,
not
Kyle?
a talent.
That's not a talent, but that's a fun fact.
I don't feel like I have a good fun one for you, but I really do like to see myself kind of as a Renaissance man, guy that can kind of do everything.
Okay.
I homeowner in 2 different places, so you need a flapper changed on your toilet. I'm gonna take care of that business.
Wow.
Is that
You
like
know
a
what I'm saying?
lid? What is what
The
is a
fact that you had to
flapper?
ask says everything I need to know.
There's your guy. You need a flapper. I know who I'm calling.
Exactly.
Sure. I was like, that's good to
Toilet's
know.
running.
Okay, so
I gotcha.
handyman. All right,
Yeah.
what's the biggest DIY project you've tackled?
Changing the flapper.
I only specialize in flappers.
I'm
Nothing
gonna have
past
to go
that.
look that up after this. Awesome. Well, those are interesting talent. those are right on the mark. Well, thank you guys so much. I know you guys have a busy practice schedule, so we appreciate you guys taking the time. And faithful to be featured in our next episode, make sure to submit your questions to 49ers.com/mailbag and subscribe to our podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Apple and Spotify. And we'll see you next week.